Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Madam 81, and I'm coming back to you again. This is the New York Times. A very interesting story today for you guys. It says coronavirus death in California came weeks before first known U.S. death. The earliest U.S. deaths publicly attributed to the virus have been on February the 26th, when two died in the Seattle area. Santa Clara County said an autopsy showed a February 6th death was also related. This article was done by Thomas Fuller and Mike Baker. San Francisco officials in Santa Clara County, California, announced late Tuesday that two residents there had died of the coronavirus early in mid-February, making them the earliest known victims of the pandemic in the United States. The new information may shift timelines of virus spread throughout the country through the country weeks earlier than previously believed. The first report of coronavirus-related deaths in the United States came on February the 29th in the Seattle area, although officials later discovered that two people who had died February the 26th and had also had the virus, but the Santa Clara County officials that said that the autopsies of the two people who died at their homes on February 6th and February the 17th showed that the individuals were infected with the virus. The presence of the disease COVID-19 was determined by tissue samples and was confirmed by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, county health officials said in a statement. Each one of these deaths is probably the tip of the iceberg of unknown size, Dr. Sarah Cody, the county sheriff medical officer, said in an interview. It feels quite significant. Dr. Cody said the individuals who died in February did not have any known travel histories that would have exposed them to the virus, which first appeared in China. They are presumed to have contacted the virus in the community, she said. The newly reported deaths suggested the coronavirus may have been spreading in California much earlier than was previously known, and said Dr. Jeffrey V. Smith, the Santa Clara County executive and a medical doctor. It was probably around unrecognizable for quite a while. Unrecognizable for quite some time, Dr. Smith said. It was unclear early Wednesday why it had taken so long to identify the February deaths as causes of coronavirus. Much debate has centered on the question of when the virus arrived in the United States and how early it began to spread among people. Problems and delays slowed the ability of widespread testing for the virus, which has killed more than 40,000 people nationwide. In January, the authorities identified a series of coronavirus cases from travelers abroad, but they did not identify any community spreads of the virus for several weeks. The federal government has strict rules on who qualifies for coronavirus testing, and the test kits developed by the CDC. The public health labs began receiving on February 7th turned out to be faulty. Strict definitions of who could be tested limited what local health officials could do to find out how widespread the virus might be. We had to ask the CDC every single time, does this person meet the case definition? May we send a sample, Dr. Cody said. we had this very, very uncomfortable feeling that we were hearing about a lot of patients who really felt that they were cases, but we couldn't test them. So we couldn't test, she said. Other indications have emerged that the virus may have been spreaded earlier than previously known. The Grand Princess cruise ship that departed for San Francisco on February 11th had passengers who developed the coronavirus aboard. Researchers believe that the virus also began to circulate in the New York City area by mid-February, and in early March, researchers found a range of cases with genetic similarities to each other in the Seattle area, suggesting that it had been spreading undetected for weeks. For weeks, y'all. In Santa Clara County, Dr. Cody said that the picture of the spread was becoming clearer, but that there were still gaps. We had so few pixels, you could hardly pick out the image, she said. Suddenly, we have many pixels that all of a sudden that we didn't even realize that we were looking for. But she added, I can't put the story together yet. On March 16th, Santa Clara County was among the first counties in the nation to announce the stay-at-home order. Clearly, the retrospect, that was a good decision, Dr. Cody said. Now we see there was even more transmission than we recognized. Although California was an early state to report the individuals were carrying the virus, it has been 1/10 the number of deaths as New York State, the hardest hit place in America. Officials believe that earlier the imposition to stay at home orders and the state's lower population density are among factors that have helped California avoid the worst so far. Okay, so as time goes on, I'll say this, we will know more and do more. There's a lot of reports coming around, and just judging from this one article, clearly this has been in circulation for a while. The fact that we're just finding this out presents a very clear and dangerous problem for everyone that lives in the United States, because you would have to go back and review the most recent cases. I'm saying go back as far as December to actually try to gauge when, if it was an issue then, and was it a problem or whatever the case. I also read something today, had something today, actually it's going to be my thumbnail. It was back in 2011, and they had the coronavirus in a vial. And if that's true, back in 2011, and everybody knows, it was a traumatic year in 2011, why have they not been able to make a vaccine for this virus? It's the same thing as, looking on the back of old cans. Why are they not able to make a vaccine? And, this push that everybody's, going for, I understand that people want to get back to work. I understand that people want to open back up their businesses. But this is not over, people. And I stress to everyone, please take any and every precaution that you can to make sure and ensure that you and your family and your friends are safe, and that y'all are updated on everything that happens. And that's all we really can do right now. Um, I am happy that where I live at, my governor is like, we can't do it unless we got testing. And we do know that the current president, he is pushing for everyone to, essentially open up their countries. And just saying, hypothetically, another case hits, and then what are we going to do? It's going to be even more people that have died, and lives lost needlessly. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope that this one article can paint a clear picture of the earlier signs of, the coronavirus. And this was February 6th, y'all. February 6th of 2020. But again, like the doctor was saying, due to the tight restrictions or criteria that they have to face when, putting a person in the bracket of, they have it or they don't, it's, CDC failed, which is not surprising to me. I have my own theories about the CDC, so I'm going to just leave it at that. But thank you guys again. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please don't forget to drop down in the comments and basically, let me know how you feel about this. I hope everyone is safe, and I will talk to you guys later.